In today's video, I'm answering a bunch of questions around chronic fatigue syndrome and recovery live from people across social media. So if you've got chronic fatigue syndrome and you're looking for practical help, enjoy this video. All right, team, let's get into it. We've got a fair few people here right now. So if you are here live and you have a question around recovery, I'd just love to help you today. So I'm going to answer a couple of them. And do my very best. So Amanda, if you have any questions, Emmy, if you have any questions, he said, you're on the road trip and my family to see my family, I think you're saying. Hey, Chris, good morning. My friends moved to Melbourne from Sweden and I'm so sick to travel. Yep, travel is absolutely possible with recovery. So let me answer a couple of questions first and then I'm going to get to travel because I do have some tips around travel for you as well. But there was a really good question before. So Micah says, do you get a doctor and a medication and all the other things that you need inside the program to get better? The truth is that you don't need a doctor or medication to get better from chronic fatigue syndrome. Now, I'm not saying you don't need help from a doctor or you shouldn't take medication. I'm not your doctor, so I'm not going to give you that type of advice. But what I do know from the thousands of people that we've worked with and helped over the last 16 years, it's not a doctor who gets people better. It's not medication that gets people get better. It's people who have a holistic approach and a proper practical plan on a daily basis that helps them the most. So, so not one success story has ever said, oh my God, Toby, it was the medication that I took that got me better, okay? It's always a holistic approach that takes time where you rebuild and recondition your body and brain over time so you have strength and stamina to do what you want to do without feeling any worse, okay? Super, super important. I was doing okay with fibromyalgia. Okay, so here's the thing. When if you're wondering about how do I deal with all my symptoms, okay? Whether it's like chronic pain or tinnitus or you've written TMJ and jaw dysfunction. So the thing is, it's not about having a symptom-focused approach. It's actually the opposite. How many times have you tried to, you tried to get rid of all your symptoms and you're like, I just need to focus on getting rid of this symptom and I need to get rid of this symptom. And then you literally feel like the symptoms are getting worse. This is what happens when you focus on symptoms and have a symptom-focused approach. And you just keep going around in circles. But when you have a health-focused approach and you actually don't focus on your symptoms, you focus on doing what you can do despite having the symptoms and focusing on improving your health, what happens over time is your health goes up and then your symptoms naturally go down. And so over time, this just gets better and better and better and better and better. And so my invitation to you is actually try not to focus on getting rid of the symptoms that you're experiencing. If you just switch your focus completely on a health-focused approach and making sure that you're not pushing and crashing, making sure you're not going up and down like a yo-yo and you're having a consistent baseline that's helping you maintain your health so you can progress later, that's what's going to help you the most, okay? Langton says, how do I deal with the embarrassment at feeling useless because I can't do anything? Experiencing deep fatigue and then not being able to do anything with it, I can understand that you would feel this grief and this embarrassment, but the truth is you're probably comparing yourself to your old self or you're comparing yourself to people around you. And that isn't helpful for recovery. The key here is that you want to focus on where you're at right now so you can then move forwards and really taking care of yourself and looking after yourself in the moment right now. That will rid all the embarrassment that you feel because then you can feel empowered about what you're doing day to day. So the chances are right now you're probably looking in the rear view mirror a lot or you're looking at the future and just thinking doom and gloom. But the truth is if you just focus on what you can control right now and then start to focus on your recovery from where you're at, the embarrassment will start to go and the empowerment will start to come in and then you'll naturally start to feel better as well. Okay, here's a great question. I'm struggling with severe fatigue. I haven't got a formal diagnosis yet, and I've been monitored for over a year now. How do I start to get back to feeling normal? Okay, so when we think about recovery, this is a great question. We want to think about, again, having a holistic approach. Now, what we do know is chronic fatigue syndrome affects every aspect of life, right? And your health. So Firstly, usually there's a deconditioning of your muscles, right? And your strength and stamina. There's a loss of appetite. There's a weakening of your immune system. Your sleep is probably super out of whack. And so the first starting point is fixing those fundamentals straight away, okay? Your doctor has probably told you before that you just need to rest, or they say the other freaking thing, which is the opposite, where they say you just need to push yourself, you just need to sweat it out and, and motivate yourself more. And that couldn't be further from the truth. You don't want to do either, right? I'm not saying you don't want to rest at all. Rest is important, but resting your way out of chronic fatigue syndrome won't fix the problem. It'll just decondition you even more and you'll feel even worse. The trick is that we want to find the sweet spot. The number one thing that we help all of our clients with when we first start working with them is we help them stop the push-crash cycle. We help them stop the ups and downs and the energy deficits that they put themselves in when they push themselves too far. Why do we do that? Well, right now you're in an energy deficit already because you're going through something like chronic fatigue syndrome, and you don't want to put yourself in more of an energy deficit than you already are. And so the key here is to find your baseline, which is going to help you stop the ups and downs and the push-crash cycle, stabilize your energy levels, and then actually stabilize your symptoms. When you stabilize your symptoms, that's when you can actually build your strength and capacity appropriately for where you're at, and then build from there. But the key here is, initially, we want to have a less is more approach, right? We don't want to kind of like, the problem is that when you have a good day, you just try and do everything, and then that just like puts you in a bigger energy deficit. So we really want consistency over intensity for a minimum 1 to 2 months before we look at progressing even further. And so my invitation to you is to, 1, stop the pushing, crashing first and foremost. Routine and structure is so damn important, particularly when it comes to your sleep cycle and your rest and activity cycles throughout the day. Remember what I said before, rest isn't a bad thing to do, but just resting alone won't fix the problem. But rest is vital and important for recovery, particularly if you're in stage 1 of recovery, which is the acute stage of suffering. Stage 2 is where you're re-strengthening your body. You're still having symptoms and you're suffering, but you're stabilized and you're not in that acute stage of suffering. And then the third phase is reintegration, where you're reintegrating into life. And this can span over kind of 6 to 12 months of integrating through those phases. So don't be disheartened if it's taking a little while. The other things you want to look at is food. Food is fuel. So a lot of people are under eating or not eating enough adequate protein in their nutritional intake every single day, and having good complex carbohydrates and fats through every meal along with the protein. Okay, no fancy diets, no fad diets, just fueling your system and your body so it has the energy it needs to restore energy back in and to help with that energy deficit. That's the starting point of recovery. It's a lot more nuanced than that. Inside of our program that we work with people, we have a 12-level movement program where we take people from, if they're housebound or they're not functioning around even the bedroom, we help them restore strength in their body without even pushing themselves. They actually gain more energy from doing it. There's 12 levels to that. And that takes them through every single stage of recovery, from acute stage all the way into the integration phase of living their healthy, normal life again, okay? So it is nuanced. It's not like it's a simple click of the fingers and there's no quick fix, but it's a process and a pathway. And once you understand that recovery is a rehabilitation process, it just makes so much more sense on your approach to doing it. Whereas if you keep thinking that there's got to be a quick fix solution, you're going to just keep going around on the merry-go-round of trying these quick fixes and then feeling disappointed. Does this make sense? Let me know in the chat if this makes sense to you and if this is helpful. Got a question here from Possibility. She says, what are your thoughts on off-label prescriptions such as low-dose naltrexone or low-dose Abilify to help support in your recovery? Personally, I'm not a fan of these medications. I'm not against medications. If it helps you, amazing, go and do it. But again, I've just never met one success story who goes, oh my God, it was this medication that got me better. They can be very useful for managing chronic illnesses, but we're not interested in managing illness. We're interested in helping people get healthy so they can start living again. And that's the difference and the focus there. Caitlin says, is recovery similar for someone with autoimmune disease as recovery from CFS? Yes, absolutely. Again, the pathway is usually the same. However, again, it's very important to consult your doctor on some treatment plans that might be useful for your specific autoimmune disease, as there are specific medications for particular autoimmune diseases that can be useful. But again, in terms of a holistic comprehensive plan, we still need to reverse engineer what the illness has actually done to your brain and body, which is really important. This would be cool if we can hang out. Hey! Vicki, can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Where are you tuning in from?
I'm in Melbourne.
Oh,
Victoria.
whereabouts?
Preston South.
Love it. Absolutely love it. I saw your comment before about how you were in the program for 13 months and now you're doing yoga classes and you're about to do Pilates as well.
Yeah, it's the first time since 6 years that I've been doing exercise at home, but it's the first time I've ventured out to do it in the world. So yeah, I'm really happy.
So good.
Yeah.
How does it feel?
Amazing. It just makes you feel so much better to be able to get out there and feel normal. And to be around people.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What was it like when you first started in our program? Like, where were you at?
I wasn't really bad. I had already started doing a lot of the things that you recommend, so I was already on the way. But I had total isolation from people and people that didn't just understand what was going on with me. So the support, unfortunately, wasn't there as much. So joining your program and being amongst the community was so important for getting better. I didn't interact as much,
Some people do.
I throw comments in every now and then, but I was always watching and listening and taking things on board, and that was enough for me to heal myself. So totally grateful for what you do.
Thank you.
You're a star.
No, thank you. But yeah, I love how you just said I did the work and I healed myself, because, I always say to people when they say, oh, thanks, Toby, you saved my life. I'm like, I didn't save your life. I helped you help you save your own life. Because that's the truth. It's like, I don't get you better. The program doesn't get you better. You help yourself get better. The program just teaches you how to do that.
What? It's like anything.
Yeah.
You have to help yourself.
Yeah.
If you've got the right tools and you help yourself, you're on your way.
Yeah. What was the most helpful thing inside the program from a practical standpoint that you took and applied in your life, or a couple of things that resonated for you?
Consistency.
Yeah. So baseline, like getting your baseline sorted.
Oh, 100%. I have Hashimoto's and POTS, and baseline is so important. And what I was doing, I started out doing that, and then I slipped off.
Yeah.
And thought, oh, no, I feel great. I can go out there, I can do 30, 40, 50 minutes of exercise. And then I'd fall back down again. So it was really hard for me to pull myself back in and say, okay, you can only do 5-10 minutes today.
Yeah.
And you've got to stay at that for 3 or 4 days and then increase it. I kept falling back every now and then because I feel great. I'm going to do more. So that baseline is extremely important. Even when you think that you are capable of doing more, you have to remind yourself that you need to go back and just do it really slowly. So the consistency was important. And once I found that I stuck to the consistency, I just progressed.
So much faster. Yeah. This is why it's hard to watch people on the internet when they just keep trying to progress before they've built the foundation, and then they wonder.
You just want to get better.
I know.
It's so easy to get better, but you have to pull yourself back.
So true.
Take time. Yeah, because it's taken a while for you to get sick. You're not going to get better overnight.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the hardest part, I think, for people, is they don't know why they're not getting better, but then it's so clear as day that they're just going around in circles because they're just doing too much. Is that your daughter? Have you got a daughter called Beck?
I do have a daughter called Beck.
Beck True has just joined the live stream. So,
oh my God.
hey, Beck. I was like, is that your daughter?
She's not here. Where are you?
Well, it could be your daughter. It might be someone else. But anyway.
I have a daughter called Beck.
Has she got a dog?
Yes, she's got a
Border Collie?
mountain dog.
There you go. Oh, yeah, I can see. Yeah. I think it's Beck. Hey, Beck, your mum's amazing. Emmy says, go, Vicki. Love it. Can we please connect with you just for moral support? I'll leave that to Vicki. She's probably living her life. Tell me what you're up to these days. Like, what are you doing these days?
I'm retired, so I just...
Nice.
I'm still recovering, Toby. I'm not 100%, that is for sure. I'm nowhere near 100%, but I'm getting better and better and better every day. I have to remind myself, I look at my notes, and I have said this to Beck if she's watching. I go back at my notes, and you have days where you think that you're not doing so well or you haven't really improved, but going back and looking what I've done compared to 6 years ago, I have increased so much. So it helps me to write down how I'm going and what I've been doing because it just reminds me that, yes, you've made heaps of progress.
Yeah.
People, I may not have made, they may think that I haven't made any progress, but to me, I have made a heap of progress and it's all in my writing. So
well, yeah, and I mean the fact that you're doing general health population classes now is a sure tail sign. Like, the fact that you can go to yoga class, the fact that you can sign up for Pilates, like that's a dream for most people, like to even think about that. So many people who join our program, like their first goal is like, I want to get back to, my yoga class or my dance class or whatever, and they think it's not possible. But it is possible if you just, slowly but surely rebuild and recondition your body over time. What's been the biggest, blessing from all of this for you?
Your program has made me feel just complete, actually. It just makes me feel so much better. As I said, just having that community to be able to talk to, it just makes me feel human. Because when you're battling the chronic illness or whatever, you just lose yourself, and you do get it back very slowly, but you do get it back.
So good. Thank you for taking some time out and jumping on live.
That's okay. Your snippets keep popping up still, even though I've been out of the program for 2 months. So I always keep watching anyway, because it keeps me in line.
So good. So good. Yeah, appreciate you. And let's stay in touch. I'd love you to, I think we might be on Facebook together or connected. Just send me a message there in a couple of months. Let me know how you're doing.
Sure.
Legend. Thank you.
Okay, thanks, Toby.
Guys, let's give Vicki some love in the chat. Thank you. Appreciate you. Team, if you've got any other questions, let me know before we wrap up. Vicki's amazing. She's one of those people that just had that consistency from the get-go. And again, just like the way that she languaged that, it was just like, I just worked on my recovery and took what I needed and then applied it is the key, team. And so you can kind of take a little leaf out of Vicki's book, just to go, all right, what can I do to help myself get better? Bree Arden says, I wish I had signed up earlier. Hey, Bree, my pleasure. Great to see you here from Miami. Team, we're going to wrap this up. Big love. If this was super helpful for you, share on your stories and tag us. If you're watching this on replay, just comment the word helpful below so I know it was helpful. We can do way more of these if it was good. And Vicki getting a lot of love in the chat right now. Nice way to start the day. Team, big love. We'll see you soon. Bye for now.
See you, Chuck.
Nice. Wasn't expecting that. That was cool.